Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video we're looking at New Zealand flaxes, and these flaxes are used widely throughout the world because they're so versatile and so hardy for different climates and conditions. Now in New Zealand we've got two main types of flaxes, and that is the New Zealand one that's called New Zealand flax, and the other one called mountain flax. One is called Phormium tenax, and the other one is called Phormium cookianum. Now, the difference between the two is quite distinct, but Phormium tenax is a taller variety and it grows up to around about 2.5 to 3 meters. And cookianum is a smaller variety that has more drooping sort of a look, and it grows up to around about 1.5, 2 meters. So it's a smaller variety. Now, both are seen throughout New Zealand and are both very useful plants in landscaping. The difference between the two also is in the flowers. So the tenax has sort of red flowers, and its seed pods tend to be upright on the flower stalk, whereas the cookianum, the flowers are sort of more yellow-orange, and they sort of tend to sort of droop down. That's a couple of the main distinctions there between them. The plant itself is a herbaceous rhizome perennial, and which means that you can divide this up with a bit of root, and you'll be able to divide it and get a new plant out of it. Now, the plant itself has been long used for different things, including making mats and for baskets, and that's where the word phormium comes from. So it's a Greek word, phormium, which means weavers' mats. And then the other words, while we're talking about Latin names and Greek names, tenax means Phormium tenax. Tenax means tough. So tenax is a tougher. It's probably a more tougher plant. So for weavers, that's the plant that they use because the fibers on the leaves are stronger versus the cookianum. This one behind me is the cookianum. This one's called emerald gem. So it's a cultivar of the original cookianum. So there's lots of different varieties that will kind of interbreed, but this one is a particularly good one. I like it. It grows to around about 80 centimeters by around about a meter, so it's a nice height. Whereas if you put a plant in that, say, Phormium tenax, that grows to about 3 meters and about 2 meters wide, that's a very big plant. So generally you see the Phormium tenax in swamplands and used in sort of restoration programs where there's a lot of swampland. That's the plant to sort of use. It's not to say cookianum can't be used in the same sort of environments, but that one is tend to be preferred. Cookianum, also called the mountain flax, can be used in colder climates, and it's also used on coastal and pretty much in the same sort of areas as the tenax. So we've got the differences in the leaves, flowers, and the heights that define them. And also this plant traditionally has been used for various different things. The flowers, very, very good for encouraging bird, especially tuis and silver eyes into your garden. And also the Maoris used to use the nectar also as a sweetener for various foods that they added. And obviously the tuis will pollinate this plant as they take out the nectar. The plant itself has been also used as an export industry in the early 19th century as rope because the fibers are extremely tough. If you ever get this caught up in your lawnmower, you'll know about it, like I have. And it's one of those plants that are very difficult to sort of, you can't really put it in your waste bag because the people at the other end don't want it. So you've got to be kind of dispose of it in another way. Probably put it in the rubbish to go to the tip if you're going to use leaves. So maintenance wise on them, they do need a little bit of maintenance, as in every about 2 or 3 years you remove some of the dead leaves at the bottom, you cut back the dead flower stalks in late summer. They do produce seeds, and those seeds can be used. Those seeds can be used as in flaxseed oil, which is the good source of omega-3. And yeah, I mean the plants also have been used for dyes and things like that. But for landscaping, I tend to like to use these in mass planting. I'd put them on the side of a bank, maybe combine them with some other natives in there as well, or I would use them in a subtropical garden, getting all those nice dark reddish and almost black foliage coming out. So you've got nice varieties like Flax Black is a nice one that forms around about 75 centimeters high. Dark Delight is a slightly larger one, but it's very dark purpley leaves. And you've got things like Surfer as well, which is another variety that is pretty cool to use in your gardens. And you can combine them with bark gardens or mulch gardens, but extremely useful. Okay, guys, I think I've summed everything up there for you guys, and that is New Zealand flax, the Phormiums, and very useful and widely available throughout the world. Okay, we'll see you in the next video.